Hello and welcome to the IPBES Data Management tutorials. Today we'll be covering sensitive data, anonymization, and ethical considerations within the chapter IPBES Data Management Reports. My name is Joy Kumagai, and I work within the Technical Support Unit on Knowledge and Data, which is hosted at the Zecklenburg Biodiversity and Climate Research Center. So let's talk about sensitive data. Sensitive data are data that must be protected against unwanted disclosure. There are lots of reasons to protect sensitive data. There are privacy issues, legal reasons, ethical reasons, and also proprietary reasons. Whenever you have sensitive data, you need to pay close and special attention to how they're managed. It is important that confidential data should be handled by as few people as possible. If you have any questions about how to deal with sensitive data in your reports, please contact your technical support unit. Here's some specific examples of sensitive data. There's personal data, like names of experts who haven't given permission to share their names. There's biological examples, like the locations of species, in particular, threatened species or details about how a plant might be used medicinally. There's national data that's also often sensitive. So some governments just make it illegal to share geospatial data of various sorts. And then there's also cultural data. Sacred locations, songs, art, these kind of things may also be considered sensitive data. Okay, so here's how to manage sensitive data. First off, IPBES products, including data management reports, should be openly available 2 months after the assessment or product has been approved. You can put embargoes and restricted access under specific circumstances, and that requires the approval from the Knowledge and Data Task Force. When you have sensitive data, it should be anonymized. The sensitive information should be removed before it is shared with others and before it is archived. If relevant for the analysis, though, non-anonymized data should be kept privately. We recommend Zenodo as the place to archive data. You can set the access rights there to open or restricted or private. Finally, managing data from Indigenous peoples and local communities requires application of FPIC, which is free, prior, and informed consent. At IPBES, we also require that the CARE principles of Indigenous data governance are followed, which stand for collective benefit, authority to control, responsibility, and ethics. More information about the CARE principles can be found on the link on the slide. IPBES recognizes the importance of Indigenous and local knowledge, hence ILK, to conservation and sustainable use of ecosystems. The details about how to work and share ILK are in the IPBES Data and Knowledge Management Policy. Indigenous peoples and local communities have the opportunity to contribute their data and knowledge throughout the process of creating IPBES products. Through dialogues, the aims, process, and proposed use and storage of information and the final products are discussed with participants before the activity begins. After the activity or at any point in the process, participants can withdraw their knowledge or information. Session 4.6 within these data management tutorials and Part 9 within the Technical Guideline series explains working with ILK in more detail, including FPIC and CARE principles. Now, regarding what is expected for data management reports that contain ILK. Of course, data management reports help to ensure the process of collecting and analyzing knowledge and data is as transparent as possible, which extends to ILK. Procedurally, the ILK Technical Support Unit will review any data management reports that contain Indigenous and local knowledge. Regarding the content of these reports, if they contain any unpublished ILK materials, please describe what steps were taken to follow FPIC and store these unpublished materials. Include the agreed terms of use and access, appropriate accreditation, and how the materials can be found and accessed in the future. ILK and the Knowledge and Data TSU can work with communities to ensure any unpublished materials can be findable. Finally, if any concerns were raised with any content, describe what steps were taken to address the concern and the outcome in the associated data management report. If you have specific questions about sharing data from Indigenous and local communities, be sure to contact the ILK Technical Support Unit. So there are tools available for anonymizing personal information. The key to anonymizing is that you remove the ability to trace the data to the subject that generated it, and that the process is irreversible. Here are a few online tools that help you anonymize data: Amnesia, ARX, and SCC Micro. Geospatial data, location data, is handled specially. Location data is like the location of species, observations of at-risk species, sacred locations, anything that can then identify an individual's location unless they give permission. There are different ways to anonymize that kind of data. One is you just remove it entirely, or another is you can apply various methods to blur the location or add uncertainty to it. There are existing standards for that. So the first one listed here is a standard for surveys, and the second one is a standard for species locations. If you have any questions at all, please contact your technical support unit. There are some additional ethical considerations. Multiple institutions have standards on how to ethically share data, and you need to apply and refer to all of them. So your researcher's home institution will have ethical rules that you need to follow. You need to follow national rules as well. If you're at all dealing with genetic information, the Nagoya protocols must be referred to, so be sure to engage with all ethical considerations that fall within your assessment or product. And with that, I'll end our discussion of sensitive data and how to manage it. Thank you very much for your attention. I'd like to thank the other contributors that helped prepare this content. Feel free to contact us at tc.data@ipbes.net. And we hope you enjoyed this session on sensitive data, anonymization, and ethical considerations. Thanks again, and have a good day.